So I now have the honor and pleasure of introducing someone who I call my friend, but someone who has mentored me throughout my career in public life, and also has just been there for me and gave me the opportunity to serve at the Department of Public Works, our Mayor Edwin.
Oh, good morning, everybody. What a video. And I think Naomi and I, the first comments that we had was, and the Academy Award goes to Mike Gelati. Steve. That depiction is very evident of things that used to happen, and I'm going to be commenting on that video probably for quite some time. I think it's a very good illustration. But I wanted to come by this morning to say thank you for joining us, to let you know how proud I am of Mohammed and Naomi and all of the people that are helping both of them in their respective departments figure this out, to how to take advantage of the fact that our city in the next 10 years will spend about $25 billion on infrastructure, whether it's another terminal at our great airport, the sewer and water system in our PUC, or fixing and developing our piers, or the incredible support we're getting to revitalize our open spaces, our recreation and park department, or of course our $10 billion effort in the next 15 years to revitalize our municipal railway system. All of these departments, together with Public Works, is trying to figure out how to take advantage of what some have done on an individual basis, on individual projects over the years, and demonstrated what they can do if we take this word partnership, and what I've been using more and more in the city, public-private partnerships, and translate them into things that can not only get people the fair prices that they need to work. And I use that very specifically because I've been in those years at DPW when it was low bid. And low bid meant different things to different people, but it certainly did not allow for the welcoming of innovative ideas that can get the project done and accomplish something that a lot of people don't talk about in this city, don't admit very clearly, but I do, and that is all the conditions that we place on those agreements. The specifications are thick, and we have, I think, successfully, through some tremendous efforts by our, not only Public Works, but I know when Ed Riskin started these meetings in the past years when he was at DPW, and when Mohammed was deputy, we were all trying to struggle over how to reduce these thick documents into something that is more readable and accomplishable. I know Mike and others stepped up with us, WebCore and others. I remember those sessions that we had to make an effort and help Edgar and others and Fuad and others reduce that document to something workable. Well, that was just one aspect of a goal that we all had, a goal that I think all of us can appreciate. And that is, one, could we have a time when our contractors and our architects and our engineers in the private sector would be plentiful in San Francisco, rather than see years of, oh God, the experience over there was so bad, I don't ever want to work in San Francisco again. And we knew those. We knew that attitude was there, and we knew that it was our own human nature approach to how we get work done and how we work with all the different departments would be the very big secret. So going from this traditional state-imposed low bid situation where people didn't talk to each other and the bid was supposed to suggest that we got all these things done, to where the Board of Supervisors, the mayors in the past, the department heads all imposed additional goals in those agreements that we wanted to reach, and yet didn't really find a way to accomplish those goals in a manner in which people left the projects with a smile on their face and accomplished a lot of stuff. Well, we've learned through that. And you point to these fantastic projects that we have already, where the partnering has begun in a very serious way, where contractors, engineers, vendors, from not just the primes, but the subs, the suppliers, and the people in those various departments complete those projects and say, hey, God, that felt good. Let's work together and do more. It's happening at our airport as a model department. It's happening when Harlan said to everybody else, and with Michael Carlin's help and others, to say we can, through our water improvement system, have an alternative dispute resolution system. Bring down those claims. Don't have a forever employment program for lawyers. And that Public Works and Rec and Park and the Port and MTA, they're all stepping up to say, we can all do this better. And so when we see contractors walking off nowadays, huge projects, whether it's the control tower or a new terminal or a new boarding area, a new roadway at the airport, they're saying, I want to come back and do that work and do some more. I want to help think about how we could save time, save money, improve schedules. I like that construction manager out there. We talked in good terms. And if I can't bid or RFP respond back, I'm going to try again because I want to be working for this city. This is what we wanted to create in terms of the goals of partnership. These are the kinds of things that we want to work away with. But at the same time, I know city departments said we still got to get the project done. But there are other things as important as getting the project done that I think is part of that partnership. Hiring people who have waited and trained themselves for years to be part of that. Getting a project done in a way in which the schedule and the project itself is complementary of all the other departments and utilities and other things that could in the past say, God, that's going to get in the way, and so therefore I've got to charge you more. My time is wasted. Partnership means attacking and knowing that you're going to have those interruptions. Just this week, we found some very important Indian bones in the middle of the Trans-Bay Terminal, one of our signature projects for the city. But I think there was confidence that said, hey, we're going to manage that in a way in which, one, honors the history of the city, and the values and the characteristics of the city, and two, keep that project that's invaluable going because there's a lot of public and private dollars involved and investor confidence. The other aspect is it's not just any one department anymore. When you're working in the city, you've got to deal with utilities, you've got to deal with other departments and their priorities. That's why DPW was one of the hardest jobs I ever held, because no matter what was done, we had to get involved with the others. And I forever thank, not curse Willie Brown, thank him for one of the hardest jobs that he ever gave me. Only because it was an opportunity to learn how to do it better and do it right. And I was very willing to do that. And I suppose that's what has caused this curse to be on me for being the mayor of San Francisco. No, I do welcome this opportunity. I also want to say that amongst all the goals, it's not just hiring. It's really through all of the construction projects that we do, all the infrastructure work that we do in all the different departments that are here today. We're also trying to build confidence, not only in the construction and construction management world and engineering world, the design world as well. We're also trying to build confidence in the financial investment world. And so when you complete projects or when you are having a good, positive time designing them in partnership, the word gets out to the financial world, to the very people who buy the bonds in the city, who we must convince that we're handling their money in a very responsible way, a responsible plus way. The word gets out that we're honoring not only schedules, we're honoring the fact that we resolve problems, hopefully more and more on-site as opposed to in the courts. And that when we get these things done, the investment world says, San Francisco is worth investing in. That's one of the most important things that I am learning from this new position here. It's more than just getting the job done, it's how we get it done so that people say this is a city worth investing in. Contractors don't just respond to a bid. We understand that more and more. You actually invest in those projects. You invest your talent, your resources, the best people. I've seen how the best people in companies come up from what they're used to doing to how they do it even better. And I've also seen how the best of our departments come up and meet that challenge and say, we all want to do it better. And when we come out of that, the departments are better, we've honored the public's trust, and we honored the financial world with their investor confidence. And this brings us to the cycle of economic recovery and economic confidence that we have in the city. The reason why we have $25 billion of projects is because we have $25 billion of confidence that's being invested in all of us. And that also translates right down to the very personal thing. Partnership begins with individual commitment. It says, I want to be a part of something good. People don't put their money and their talent up for something they personally don't believe in. And so I know it from the very details of things that I've had to go to court on and then stand back and say, how could we have done it better? We should learn from those, not claim victory or defeat from a court process. We need to walk back, take a broader look and say, how could we have avoided a dispute outside of our management control and have done it better? Courts are not going to build confidence with the public. Lawyers don't build confidence. They advocate very effectively, but they do not build confidence in our city. And so I think this video is good, but I just wanted to deliver a personal message how I feel about partnership and about what it really will accomplish for our city. And I stand before you proudly announcing this partnership steering committee with the departments that I've already named, but ask also that you give us your best in this effort. And I know these companies. I know Mike, and I know Webcor, and I know Turner, and I know both Gelati Brothers and all the other companies that are coming together. And I know many of their first-tier subs, because I'm willing to talk to everybody. And so should everybody else to reach the partnership levels that we need to do. I've often talked to suppliers just to find out, because sometimes it's kind of like talking to mid-level employees, which I've enjoyed doing even as a department head or city administrator. I've encouraged Mohammed and Naomi in their capacities as we head up the best organizations possible. Sometimes we also want to talk to the people in the middle or the bottom who are digging the dirt, encountering all the stuff, because it gives us a sense of whether or not the philosophies that we work with are penetrating all the way down to the very people who are doing the work. Do they have hope that this project will not only be done on time, but that their own lives will be enhanced properly? That's why the labor part of this is very important to us, because I need to breed confidence in people who are training themselves and want to get better, that they have an investment as well. It is not just a job. These are investments, and people's lives and their careers can be built if there's a positive atmosphere at the top that's also involving people in the middle and ultimately people who are actually doing the physical work. All of this will bring confidence to the city. I understand it. I want to preach about it. I want to do more about it. And I think the steering committee announcement today, the summit, but also just the welcoming of a philosophy and of a practice that invites everybody to be innovative and solution-oriented is going to be good for the city. And, you know, I try to replicate this in literally everything that I do for the city, because I need the people who are making a lot of money in the city to work with the people who are struggling to make this city work for everybody. It's a city for the 100%, and it works in the construction and building and design world as well. We'll have, as a result of this, the best libraries in the world, the best art facilities, the best approach to fixing our ports and making sure we're earthquake seismically safe. And ultimately, all these projects will conclude itself in what you've already, I think, know, that we're one of the best cities in the world because of these things and because of how we approach these challenges. It isn't just one department any longer. It's why we're on the stage of Yoshi's. To play the best jazz, you've got to have a whole lot of people at their best. Conducted properly, but also blending in with each other towards the goal of making the best music in the world. We're making a lot of great music, investor music, I call it, in the city. So congratulations. Thank you, Mohammed, for your leadership, and Naomi for your leadership. Have a good summit. Make sure that we carry this forward to all of our other managers and right down to the very people that we hire. This is obviously a very good time for the city, and one we're very lucky to enjoy, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. Thank you very much.
Another big hand for our mayor, please. We heard the mayor talk about the steering committee. So there will be a steering committee that will be formed in the next few weeks. It's in pretty much 80% done. And the steering committee will actually continue to guide the work that we do, both city departments and contractors on many of our projects, so that we can even do better. I also want to take this time to thank the committee who put together our summit today. It is another model of partnering when city agencies, contractor associations, contractors work through goals, objectives, do fundraising, and work out our logistics. Please give them a good hand, a big hand for their work in making today happen. I especially want to thank a partner who you will hear from today, is the International Partnering Institute, for their leadership and their assistance in sponsoring and making this event happen. Naomi acknowledged our platinum sponsors, and now I'd like to just thank some of our gold sponsors. Hansel Phelps, Jacobs, the Global Leadership Alliance, and the Northern California Carpenters Regional Council. I also want to make sure that you all have a program. There's quite a bit of information in your program. It has what the day will look like today, and there's a lot of useful information around partnering.